Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is your boy Tanveer Sai, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTube content creator to remain motivated to continue making a variety of different type of videos in this channel, and through the YouTube algorithms would really help this channel grow. Apologies for the delay, but this is a very busy time during the semester, and yes, I'm still a student. I'm a doctoral candidate, so I will try my best to get more videos out to you as soon as possible. But today's video, I'm going to talk about Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways DLC. It just dropped a few days ago, and I saw the gameplay. No, I did not buy it. I saw the gameplay. I actually played the original when it was included and unlockable, not a DLC. Here are my thoughts on Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways. Let's start with the positive. The gameplay itself, it looks much more entertaining and engaging compared to the original. The original seems a little bit recycled compared to what we got here. I think we get a bit more variety in Separate Ways in the remake version compared to the original. So that is definitely a positive and an improvement. Number two, this might actually surprise some of you, but I am counting this as a positive and an improvement compared to the original. The treatment of Jack Krauser. Resident Evil 4 Remake, Jack Krauser dies, and in separate ways, Jack Krauser does not show up during Ada's gameplay. However, in the end, in the post credit scene, we see that Albert Wesker actually got what he needed from Jack Krauser. I am considering this an improvement from the original because in the original, if you actually think about it, the Jack Krauser boss battle with Ada actually serves no purpose whatsoever. So over here, they made Krauser serve a purpose in the DLC. And it also makes Wesker even more of a menacing threat. That Ada Wong is not the only one that can be deceitful and that can hide things and do things another way. Wesker can also do that. Number three, Albert Wesker's voice acting. I don't know about you, but I never liked Richard Waugh's voice acting as Albert Wesker.
The villagers there are all being controlled. They automatically attack any intruders. Ring the church bell. That should quiet them down for a while. Time is not a luxury we have. Gather as much information as you can about the parasites and finish off this little tour.
Even some of the voice actors from Fallout New Vegas, when they're doing the voices, especially when you go into the Tops Casino, they sound a lot more smoother than Richard Waugh as Wesker. Next, Richard Waugh does not sound menacing or like a threat. I can't even begin to count the number of people who sound more menacing than Richard Waugh as Wesker. If you were to ask me what Richard Waugh as Albert Wesker sounds like, to me, he sounds bored, disinterested, and like an NPR news reporter. I'm almost waiting for Richard Waugh Albert Wesker to give me unbiased political news every hour through my iPhone. However, this voice actor, Craig something, man, that is some good voice acting. He sounds cold and calculating as if he always has a plan that no one else knows about. And he has bass, bass in his voice. To sound cold, calculating, and smooth at the same time, one must have bass in their voice. I'll bring this up in a little bit about Ada's voice acting, but if you're going to make an evil James Bond type of character, that guy must have bass in his voice acting. Just the fact that I did Wesker's attempted voice acting a few days after Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways released shows you how much I enjoyed his voice acting. Now, let's move on to the negatives. And while we're on the topic of voice acting, let's start with the first negative. Ada Wong's voice acting. Man, this was so bad. Sally Cahill made Ada Wong sound like the Catwoman of the Resident Evil franchise. This Ada Wong sounds so bad, like a lifeless TikTok artist who makes 20 videos every day, hoping that two or three of them will hit the 1 million viewer mark. All right. This Ada Wong sounds so bad, disinterested, and just bland. Remember just moments ago when I mentioned about bass in your voice? Sally Cahill, she had a lot of bass in her voice. With bass in your voice, your vocal range and your emotional range that you're trying to deliver, it actually increases. Just look at Jack Krauser. Okay, he sounds like he is a battle tested freak, but he is also very cold and calculating at times. Okay, that he has something that he's thinking about, he has some plans that he wishes to use to outsmart his opponent. That's what bass in your voice does to a character. And I'm talking about the original Jack Krauser in Resident Evil 4 original. Okay. From his voice, you can tell that he has let the power also go to his head and he thinks he is invincible. Sally Cahill, having this bass in her voice, gave her this mystery and mystique about her that you don't know when she's going to turn on you. More on this in a little bit. Lily Gao, Ada's current voice actress, I'm sorry, it feels like a severe mismatch compared to what we have seen out of Ada. Number two, Ada's characterization. In the original, Ada had a bad girl sex appeal, sassy vibe to her character.
Luis, Sarah. And I thought I was high maintenance. Oh, Krauser, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun when I reported you dead to Wesker. Think of all the paperwork I would have to fill out if you were to show up alive. That's a large thing you have there. But I don't like it when men play rough.
This Lily Gao Ada Wong, she sounds like a disinterested housewife who now finds sex with her soon to be ex husband to be very mechanical, and she's now complaining to him about it.
I guess I changed too.
You? Leon S. Kennedy. You haven't changed. You just think you have.
The dialogue of the original Ada is much more cooler than the remake Ada. And no, I don't buy that argument that this game is meant to appeal to Gen Z gamers. Gen Z gamers, I'm sure, will find the original dialogues to be much cooler most of the time. I mean, just look at the endings. Just see how much more cooler the original Separate Ways ending is to the remake Separate Ways.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Ada!
Here, catch. Better get a move on. See you around.
Ada, what the hell are you doing?
Nothing personal, Leon. Luis and I had an arrangement. Don't worry, I'll take good care of it. Ride's here. coming?
I think we both know this is where we go our separate ways.
I see. Better get a move on.
Cute.
Until next time, Leon.
Ada even offers him a ride. What kind of nonsensical garbage is this? Whose idea was it to downgrade Ada so much from the original Separate Ways? Number three, Ada's script herself. In the original, we never exactly knew when Ada Wong would switch up and do things her way. Just like Catwoman from Batman the Animated Series. There was always this mystery about her. Sally Cahill's Ada was smart, but also had a good side to her and had feelings for Leon. In this one, however, it seems that as long as we press the right buttons with Ada, we can always convince her to be the good character. The point that accentuates this the most is the absence of the Ada monologues in the remake Separate Ways, which was there in the original.
Getting my hands on the sample was my initial objective, after all. But I've sent Wesker a different present, just as the organization ordered. Pretending to work with him was entertaining, but Wesker's not stupid. He knows exactly what the organization is thinking. He and I still have time to continue our little game of cat and mouse before the next move is played.
The monologues provided her perspective and reasoning for her actions and just showed you how intelligent and manipulative she is. I mean, this is one of the reasons why so many Resident Evil fans loved Ada as a character in the game. Number four, the game script itself. Why did Albert Wesker get involved in saving Ada's life twice? Whereas he could have done everything on his own. I mean, he even recovered Krauser's corpse on his own. Couldn't he just have killed Krauser on his own and gotten the amber that way? But overall, I will give this DLC an 8 out of 10. Not counting the original Separate Ways. This, ladies and gentlemen, is hands down the best DLC that Resident Evil has ever released for one of their games. I would have given it a 9 out of 10, but I revisited the cutscenes of Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways and Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways, and I'm sorry, Lily Gao's voice acting really annoys me in Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways. Let me know what you thought about Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways in the comment section below. And as always, hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons. This is your boy Tanveer Sai, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.